long to get there.
People look so negatively at failure. Failure, you learn something every time you fail. And most people don't realize that. Like, Dallas Media Marketing just didn't spring up. It took multiple failed. I designed a mobile application called Happy Life, and basically it had all the best happy hour deals in Dallas. I thought I was going to be a millionaire after that. Designed another app, the Social Media Directory. It had everyone's Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, all that tagged. Thought I was going to be a millionaire. I was disappointed, once I figured out I'm not going to be a fucking millionaire from it. But I learned from that. I knew how to make apps after that. I knew how to polish apps after that. And so with every failure, you take that step forward and you learn from it. And that's what we're doing with Dallas Media Marketing. That's how this company is being the best thing that ever happened to us.
And I think it was always evident with us. I met Brandon in college at Texas Tech. I'm a few years. I'm 23 now. How old am I?
26.
26. So I'm 3 years younger than him. When him and one of my roommates now were the first people that I ever met at Tech. So it was like the welcoming to Lubbock. It's how I kind of met these guys, and we've kind of just been friends ever since. But there was one point in our college career, my very short college career, that really sticks out. And I know Brandon loves this story, so I'm going to go ahead and let him tell the story of the parking situation.
Oh, all right. Well, this is what happens when a hustler meets another hustler.
And his mom's in town, too.
We didn't really know the capability of our hustle, but when we got together, we figured it out real quick.
They dreamt it, that's for sure.
They have open parking spots. It's free parking. You can't be charged for parking whatsoever. But we had a different idea. So we decided to take up all those free parking spots with all random cars from our fraternity.
Allegedly.
And we started charging people for those spots.
Allegedly.
And that's how we used to get our free beer money, just simple ways, simple little niches that we can exploit. And that's what we're doing with Dallas Media Marketing. We found that niche, we're exploiting it. And right now, our niche is social media marketing. Most people struggle with getting that organic reach. There's too much paid reach, and sometimes paid reach is complete bullshit.
I think it's always complete bullshit, because I don't know about you, but when I'm looking for, I had to get a stump removed from my house the other day, and so I was looking for DFW stump removal, and 6 pages of or 6 links of ads came up, and I just scrolled past all of them. I couldn't find anything online, so I had to go to Facebook recommendations, and that's where I found my dude.
And see, I don't know. I'm really struggling with this because no one believes in organic reach. They want that paid reach, because organic, if they don't get leads from that organic reach, that means nothing to them. At least with paid, you see the analytics and everything about that. And we're going to move on to PPC and SEO, because those are the problems that some clients want SEO while others want PPC. And PPC is more of an instant result. You pay, your ad goes up, and you pay monthly.
We kind of had a situation like that today,
Yeah.
We had a client that was, it was supposed to be a 10-minute consultation over the phone. We ended up talking to the most electric business owner in all of Dallas-Fort Worth, mind you. Guy is fantastic.
He was definitely a character, one of a kind, to say the least, And we honestly can't wait to start doing business with him and excel his brand.
Yeah.
But that shows us, because he's been paying for PPC for the last couple years, and it slowly killed his bank account, because he wasn't getting the same ROI as he was in the previous years. And I'm the biggest advocate in SEO, because SEO is a slow process, but it is a consistent, persistent process that is stable and concrete. It's not just going to go away after a month, unless you take your site down or someone negatively focuses your keywords.
So what is SEO though. Like, I kind of get it. Get it. It's search engine optimization. So you're like,
All right, it's
trying to be the best on Google.
Basically-
How do you do that?
basically you're trying to play a game of chess with Google to get to the top of the page. So you understand what makes Google tick and what Google deducts points off of and what Google gives points for. So you research that, and you have to make sure. And there's two different types of SEO too. There's on page and there's off page. On page, it's meta descriptions, alt tags, meta tags. You know, basically just that beef on your page. Well, off-page SEO, it's manually creating white hat backlinks. It's going to social media accounts, creating more social media accounts, directly putting your site on a high authority site like Amazon, something of that caliber. And so when you try to talk to your client about SEO, they're not going to know anything. They think you're just trying to take their money, and it's tough doing that.
Do you remember when I was in California and this is a funny story how I started working for Dallas Media Marketing. Like I said, Brandon and I have been friends since college, and I was actually living in Syracuse, New York with my grandparents, and he worked for this bar and restaurant. He was just like trying to do their website for him, doing what he's doing now, but also taking on 2 other jobs. Again, hustler. But
hey, it's all about that money, baby.
he asked for people to write a Yelp review, and you know, I knew Brandon had some crazy idea in the works, so I was like,
Dude, I remember that
Screw
first
it.
Yelp review. I remember that.
yeah, I was like, screw it, I'm gonna write this for him. He's my boy, and I want a job. I didn't tell him that yet. Fast forward 6 months, okay? I'm
He's
living
sitting
in
next to me,
California.
chief consulting. I gotta play this whole entire
You
time.
got-
You
you
seen
got
this
play.
shit too?
He got played.
He's a
I was
con
in
artist.
California, and he's posting stuff about Dallas Media Marketing. They had just bought their office space that we're in now, and he's really trying to get it off the ground. I write another ad, and he finally messages me back about it. I don't think he did on the first one, may or may not have. But he was like,
Probably
yo,
busy.
why did you do that? I was like, because I want a fucking job. And I also said some nice words about him, but I'm not going to say the nice words to the internet about him because he doesn't deserve it yet.
But that was like the best thing ever. Just to have that one person commit, because it was just me walking that lonely road. You know, I created Dallas Media Marketing by myself. I bought it, the LLC by myself. You know, I did everything. I filed taxes and all that, all by myself. Wasn't asking for any help. But once we started pushing this forward and people started seeing the opportunity in this company and how much money you could actually make, and it's doing something you love. You know, you're not getting bitched at by a boss all day. You're not getting in a fight with a coworker. You're not. You can, if you want to work from home, you can work from home. You know, that's the type of boss I am. I want hard workers around me. You know, and that's my biggest thing. And that's another thing I want to get into with our generation of millennials. You know, I keep on hearing millennials are killing this, millennials are killing that. Well, vice versa, I'm hearing the old timers, oh, that's why we can't have nice things anymore because they raised the price. Oh, I used to go to the movies for a nickel. I think it's just both bullshit, you know?
All this is blame, 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 blame.
It's 2 generations clashing like they always do. And the smart of the generation is going to excel. And I would like to consider myself the cream of the crop of this generation because I didn't get no participations growing up. I got number 1.
I know I'm top tier. I don't know about you, but top tier in this generation, that's for sure.
And we're not trying to be cocky in any way. We know how hard we work at what we do. You know, this is our 2nd day up in a row. You know, yeah, we got like an hour of sleep, but we know
That's not an exaggeration.
work comes first, and that's first. You know, if you want to retire early, you have to bust your ass now. And millennials don't understand.
Retire at all. You have to bust your ass down.
And I hate how my generation doesn't understand that. They think right after they get that college degree that they should be handed some $100,000 job, life should be good, all rainbows and fucking sunshines. No, that's not how it is. You know?
See, I'm at the point in my life now, like, I don't know if I said this earlier, but Brandon's like 3 years older than me. So I'm just now seeing all the kids that I grew up with and were friends with in high school that were my age group, the ones I was supposed to be hanging out with, uh, they're all graduating college now, and I see this common theme where it's, oh my God, I never have to pick up a book again. Oh my God, I never have to do online research. Oh my God, I'm never going to go to the library again. And that is just the most insanely crazy thing that I've ever heard in my life. I've been out of college for 2 years now, and I have done more studying, more learning, and more engageable practice, I guess, than I had in college.
This is what we're reading right now for our list. So our team never stops learning. And that's one thing we will not stop doing, because we have to keep up with the pace of technology. And that's going to be the biggest factor in the success of our company.
And not only that, is you're kind of doing a disservice to yourself if you cap your intelligence, or your not even intelligence, but your knowledge of just any information. It could be fucking cosplay or furries. I don't care. As long as you're expanding your knowledge about something, like to put a cap on it at 22, 23 years old, how fucking depressing is that?
What's that saying? Some people die at 25, but they live till 90. You know, I understand that completely, because you plateau at 25. You know, I plateaued a little bit. You know, I was comfortable my previous job. You know, I was working military contracting, sitting in my office 9 to 5, go home, do what I need to, rinse, repeat. You know, there was no excitement, there was no thrill, there was no passion.
Yeah, it wasn't government contracting like Jonah Hill and War Dogs, like it was going across the triangle of death or whatever.
No, it was me arguing with military officials over pricing that I had no control over. And that's one thing. If I can't have control over what I'm doing, I don't want to do it.
I'm the same way. Like,
and then
I'm coachable.
It's always the ones who say they're coachable or aren't coachable.
Great worker bee.
Yeah, I'll give you a great worker bee.
But I mean, just kind of like to do what I want to do, and like that doesn't go without saying that I don't do things that I don't want to do, because that's an
you have to. Sometimes you do the things that you know you need to do. That's part of life, and that's what you need to do. And another thing we want to do is we want to introduce you to our services. You know, maybe you'd be interested in us helping you out and making you the next big business. You know, we are great at logo design. We have some of the best creative directors in this area. And if you want to put that to the test, bring it. You know, bring your best creative directors, and we will kill them.
Why don't we have a contest and give it to charity?
Yeah, we can do that.
It's like getting all the best creative designers across DFW, Denton, Arlington, Weatherford, whatever. Get them all together, and then the winner of it gets to donate $5,000 to charity.
Yeah, $5,000 in a charity of their choice. You know, just because there's so many big digital agencies that are oversaturated with people. They got 50, 40 people working with them. That doesn't make any sense to me. It does not take that many people to create this. You know, we have 2 graphic designers that will push out logos and make them the best logos you'll ever see. And we've never had one complaint about our logo. And we pride ourselves in 100% customer satisfaction. You know, that's why we got the 5-star review.
That's not to say that we haven't faced rejection from any of our clients. Like, we've had clients tell us, no, it's just not going to work.
No, yeah, I don't like that idea. I don't like that style.
That's where we go back to the drawing board. I mean,
yeah, we don't push a style on a client that he doesn't like. You know, we're going to figure out and understand the client. I guess that's what helped out my psychology degree, because my ability to analyze a person and understand what they're looking for is unfathomable. You know, I'm a very people person when it comes to that. And another thing we excel at, websites. You know, I guess everyone excels at websites nowadays. You got people creating their own websites on Wix, WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, and all that stuff.
Is that not like the death of creative design for online businesses?
It is.
The whole drag and drop. Oh, you can make your own video too. Like, No, I'm the least creative person on paper. Like I don't do color schemes. I don't draw straight lines. I can't sing.
Can't color inside the box.
But I have creative minds in different ways. So
He's good at marketing. He's good at numbers. He's good at understanding that. And that's what we do at Dallas Media Marketing. You know, we're not going to make a lion go in the water. We're not going to make a shark climb a tree. You know, we're going to put our alphas in the field that they will thrive best in. And that's what makes us us, you know.
we do the same with the businesses. We take that philosophy with us too. Like if your page doesn't need an Instagram, or I think everybody needs an Instagram. That's a bad example. But if your page doesn't need a Snapchat or it doesn't need a YouTube channel, or we're not going to pitch it to you because.
Or even a website design. If your website design is optimized and you have a nice looking website, we're not even going to bother that. You know, we're just going to look at other services that we can help you out with. You know, that's why we try to be the one-stop shop. Because if you're not getting this from us, you can get everything else from us.
You know what I found crazy? I have a lot of friends now that they're graduating, and some aren't. But I have a lot of friends that are starting to start businesses now, and so I reach out to them, and obviously I'm trying to go win their business. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm late. Sometimes they just feel like they need to stay away, keep business and friendships away. So I totally understand it. But I had recently a buddy come up to me, and he was like, "Yo, I just put down $500 for this logo design for a down payment, and the chick has not called me back in 3 weeks. Just
What?
didn't talk to him, didn't do anything about it. Took his $500. He ended up getting in contact with her. He said he didn't like the logo, and she said, "All right, you're not worth my time."
Gone. She's fired.
$500.
All right, see, this is
That's
where.
a lot for small business.
Oh,
Yeah.
$100 is a lot for a small business. But see, that's where we come in because we're all about efficiency. You know, we know you don't want to wait months and months and months to get this website developed, this logo done. You know, we know you want it now. So we literally, whenever you order that logo, we work. We will work all night, even if it takes 2 days, until you are completely happy. Because we're young, we're allowed to do that. This is at the age we can push as hard as we can, and that way we will be able to retire early because of all the hard work that we've done.
Might have gray hair when I'm 35 years old, but I'm sure as hell going to have something to show for it. I mean, I think that's just kind of the philosophy that our Brandon, you always talk about hitting the parent lottery, and I think I hit the parent lottery as well. Like, that's not to say that my parents were perfect, never made any mistakes, because oh my God, they did. I grew up upper middle class, both parents entrepreneurs, white privilege, or whatever you want to call it. Could have bought me any car that I wanted, but they chose to give me the old beater, kind of give me a little lesson. You gotta work for your money, but it went much deeper than that. Started working, I was probably about 12 years old. But my parents instilled this attitude into me that everything I need, I gotta work for. I remember, this is my last story, I promise. I tend to do this, but
The Rambler.
it was the dead of winter, and
Winter's coming.
I think it was the PlayStation 1 that was coming out. And my dad struck, right? Crash Bandicoot.
Dude, I remember the 64 came out, man. I met Santa down at the tree, and that's when I figured out Santa wasn't real.
Anyway, my dad was like, "Hey, look, I have two brothers, one older, one younger." He's like, "Look, if you guys come up with $50 to get this console, I'll cover the rest of it." So, wintertime, you can't sell lemonade, you can't have a yard sale. Me and my brothers sat outside selling breakfast, coffee, and lunch. Like, literally holding homeless people's signs that said lunch with a question mark. And people driving by, and they're like, "Hey, do you want some lunch?" No, I'm hustling. But anyway, moral of the story is, we were $5 short after paying my dad back. So we had $50. We got $50. but he took his money back to get the startup money. You know
Smart
what?
man. Taught you a lesson, didn't it?
I did not get the PlayStation 1 that day. I didn't even get it for Christmas that year.
But did you get it eventually?
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
And you know who paid flat out for it?
You did.
No, well, me and my brothers, yeah,
You
in,
get-
in summer.
That's all right. I agree completely because my parents taught me the value of a dollar at a young age. You know, like I said, I'm blessed with both my parents. You know, they're both wonderful people, and they both taught me great things growing up. You know, my dad taught me the ability to hustle. You know, to work for your dollar. You know, you don't count your pennies. When my dad came down here with New York with $100 in the pocket, you know, that's all he had in his name. Didn't know anyone down here, and right when he got down here, he just started working, washing dishes, and he just picked up as many jobs as he could, and then eventually he met my mom, and him and my mom got married. And yes, they were struggling. They were struggling completely. You know, they were worried. They had to take money out. They had to borrow money from their parents. But my dad kept pushing forward. You know, he kept pushing forward, and now he has one of the most successful businesses in Garland. And for that, he's my role model. I know I've learned everything from him. I've learned how to handle people from him and how to work your ass off and get what you want. You know,
I would say the best thing that I learned out of my parents was the acceptance of failure, and that failure isn't the end all be all. I remember I was playing Pee Wee football, and we played this team called.
it's bringing you back to Pee Wee football.
No, there's a lesson here, and there's this team called South Lake Carroll. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about them, but they run the same offense, same defense from kindergarten all the way up to high school. Anyway, it was 5th grade. We were undefeated, and they were undefeated. They had been undefeated for the last 5 years, and ended up losing that game. I was crying my eyes out because I'm a competitor, and I was 5th grade. And my dad said something. He was like, "You're better off than they are without a trophy in your hand." Mind you, he took away the second place trophy, threw it away. But that's a little
We
bit
don't
of
have no
tough
losers
love.
in our house.
Whatever. That's another discussion. But he said, "You're better off than they are." It's like, what do you mean? I don't have a trophy. I lost. It's like, you know how to deal with failure now. These kids are going to go through their entire lives until college and never know what failure is.
All right, and that's what we call the participation trophy syndrome. You know, kids who got handed trophies for no matter how bad they sucked. You know, and we should not have done that as parents. We should not. You know, kids got to accept failure because kids learn from failure. Kids become better after failure. They don't, if you give them everything they want, they will never learn, they will never reach, and they will never evolve. They'll stay the same bratty kid. And you're like, well, why is my kid talking back to me? It's because you never disciplined them. You never showed them what it meant to work for something. You know, if you're worried about your daughter spending all your money, well, you know exactly why she is now. Because that's how it is with my family. You know, I don't want to call my sister out or anything, but
That sounds like you're
yeah,
about to.
I'm calling my sister out right now after all the many years of her being hostile. But my sister is, as you would say, high maintenance. You know, she's got to have the better things in life. You know, I didn't suffer that curse, thankfully, because I'm fine with a t-shirt, jeans, and whatever. But that kind of set the bar for my sister growing up. You know, she's a lawyer. She's a very prestigious lawyer now. You know, she's very successful. But you know, she never learned it because she was always given. You know, she was a favorite. So she was given anything she wanted. You know, while I sat back, relaxed, and enjoyed with what I got. And I can also say that's probably one of the best things about my childhood is just accepting what you get and living with that. You know, it's about Dylan the hand your plate.
And I think that the main takeaway from just this discussion in general, I learned something new that I didn't realize about myself or about Brandon that I had known before, but it was everything's always going to work out how it's supposed to. So as long as you do what you're good at and do what you love, because nobody likes to do stuff that they hate.
No.
Come on, don't give me that.
I mean, who likes taking out the trash? Who likes mowing the lawn? But it's the stuff that needs to get done in order to maintain the structure, scheduled lifestyle.
And that's what you're going to get from Dallas Media Marketing. We're going to do the things that we don't want to do. Like, I hate handing out flyers. I hate cold calling. But you know what? I got to do it anyway. And we're going to do it with just as much enthusiasm and passion as we would if I was working on a social media account, which is my passion.
One of my favorite quotes from Mark Cuban, you know, I'm a big Dallas Mavericks fan. He said, work 24 hours, work like someone who's working 24 hours a day to take away your job. And at this point, we are the ones working 24 hours a day. So come compete with us. You know, we are busting our ass and we are moving this business forward. So maybe in 10 years from now, this will be a success story or just another laugh. But welcome to our first podcast. This is Dallas Media Marketing.